Coach, can you talk a little bit? I think we had several players go through graduation the other day. Can you just talk a little bit about what it's like to have players who are focused not only on athletics but scholarship as well?
We're doing very well here with graduating our players, and these guys you're talking about obviously went through a semester, and they're able to, the guys that graduate and get to go through ceremonies, to get out of a free practice. And so I told them that if you graduate, you don't have to come to practice. But we had a number of guys that finished up at semester, and that's what they come here to do. You know, we talk a lot about it, and I think coaches at times mention it, and they don't really care about it. It's important to our coaching staff that, 10 years from now, those guys can come back and they're doing something out there in the real world that is productive, and they're happy. And they can't do that, or I shouldn't say they can't. It's difficult to do it if they don't get a degree. They really have to overcome a lot of obstacles. And so it's good to see the guys get out early and have an opportunity to go out there and get a real job.
Have you decided what Chris Littlehead's status for the bowl is?
Yeah, he's not going to play in the game.
He's suspended for the bowl.
That's correct.
What, is Jonathan Rush going through the process of getting the sixth year, or are you certain he will get the sixth year?
I'm certain.
You are certain. So how do you punish him?
Well, believe it or not,
I'm presuming.
yeah, believe it or not, we handle all this internally, and this is the most difficult part of handling the discipline with our players. A perception out there people may think that's the same. It's not always the same. And so I have to get all the information. I got to listen to everybody, listen to all different sides of the story, and then I have to decide what punishment each player should get based on what role they played, and then we move forward. But Littlehead's not going to play in the game.
How many plays did Chris wind up averaging? Maybe 25 or 30?
I'm going to say 18-ish. I thought I heard that number the other day, 18 to 22, something like that.
So he leaves quite a void.
A third of the game on, what would be 25% of the game maybe, or something like that.
How difficult is that for you? Because I realize you got to be strict, but you're also penalizing the guys that did nothing wrong. Well, really, you're not. He is. But.
That's correct. It's difficult for me to make those decisions, but I don't make them. I just kind of follow through. That's a decision that he made, and so the team understands that at any time they put themselves at risk to not be a part of what we're trying to accomplish, and then second, hurt their teammates. And I will say this for Chris. We've all been young. We all make mistakes, okay? I'm still behind him 100%, but he's lost his right to play in the bowl game.
Mike, what you guys did at the end of the year sparked a big debate about an and one or some type of extra game. Are you happy that game has kind of helped spark this debate, and where do you stand on and one or some type of playoff system?
I don't think there's any question we all want a playoff. I don't think that it's ever going to happen at our level for a number of reasons. We could start listing them. We'd be here till dinner. But my opinion, and I don't know that this is foolproof, but I would suggest a Final Four. And I said this on national radio. Some of you guys probably already heard it. But if you look back at the history of the BCS standings, then most of the teams or the four teams that are at the top at the end, there's usually an argument for them having the chance to play for a national championship. And you could always say, well, what about the fifth team? I mean, if you took 8, they'd want to know about the ninth team. But at some point, you have to sit down and compromise. And I think that the one team ought to play the 4 team with the 1 team playing at home, and the 2 team ought to play the 3 team with the 2 team playing at home the week after the season, and the 2 winners play for the championship on January 9th. That's my opinion. I don't see why that would affect anything because the game's January 9th. It's a long ways off anyway. And you could play that game after the end of the season and still not get into finals week or dead week. That's the issue you run into is certain teams have finals and certain teams have dead week and other teams don't. So where do you play the games? Home, away? You're going to practice during finals week. You have all those issues to deal with. So
If that game's close, there's no debate probably today. No one's probably saying, in other words, what you did in the Bedlam game really kind of sparked that debate. If you don't win by 30-some points, there may not be a debate out there today about it.
I agree with that.
How do you rectify, Mike, the period of time that's between the last game of the regular season or the conference championship game and the January 9th? Is that okay? Do players need that time to recover and do the finals and all that, or can it be?
I think it should be about 2 weeks earlier, but it's all based on television money, right? And I don't think when it comes to television dollars, everybody could care less what I think. And everybody wants to play a national championship game, but nobody wants to wait 5 weeks to play in it. So I think it should be much earlier, but I don't know how you fit it all in. You would have to start eliminating bowl games, and I don't know what the answer is to that. And I said this after I believe in the BCS system. I think it's a good system. I just think it needs to be adjusted a little bit to try to make it better and make more people buy into it. Actually gives us a chance to have that champion. I just don't think at any time until we have at least a 2-team playoff or a 4-team playoff or an 8-team playoff that everybody's going to be happy. And one thing I didn't say, John asked that question about, and I'd mentioned the Final Four. If you look back, that would allow some other schools like your TCUs and your Boise that they feel like they didn't have a chance. Well, they would have gotten in because I'm almost sure they finished in the top 4 in BCS standings. Am I right or not? But if they got in the top 4, then they get to play. They get to play in that playoff. So it allows everybody that opportunity.
Is there, I don't know what you're hearing, if you're hearing anything behind the scenes about West Virginia and their status, but is it possible you may go into the summer, early summer, maybe before you know absolutely what your schedule is going to be? Or will the Big 12 formulate a schedule based on the probability?
All that's going on, but I don't have any answers because I just said, let me know when y'all figure out what you want to do. And that's one thing that I don't have to be concerned with, but I think everything you said is going on right now, and I don't know if they have answers yet, right?
You don't even know if you're going to Morgantown for coming here? Or?
I don't think anything's been settled. The last comment I heard made that we felt like had some substance was that West Virginia was going to take Missouri's schedule.
All I know is Nebraska's gone.
Yeah. So
TCU would take A&M?
that's the last I heard, but you know how that is. Nobody knows, but I think that's what their goal was. But I don't know if anybody has any answers on that right now.
How would you feel about going up against Dana?
Oh, I think it's good for our league. I think that West Virginia brings some excitement. When you lose 2 teams that we wanted to stay in our league, then you want to bring teams into our league that can help with television dollars, that have won football games, and that play an exciting brand of football. And I think you got that with TCU and West Virginia.
Do you think you're going to hold your staff together, or there's still a chance that you might lose 1 or 2?
And I'm saying this really humble, but I'm thinking about starting a website that says hirecoachgundyscoaches.com and just let people come fill out an application. And then at the end of the day, I'll just go through and I don't type good enough. I'll have somebody type and email them back and then catch me up the next day. So
Frustrating, though, that people keep coming in here? I mean, because every coach would like to have a stable staff.
it is frustrating for me. But no, I'm for the coaches that are getting a chance to be a head coach. I think that's great. I don't agree with the way it works. I don't agree that assistant coaches interview for head coaching jobs when there's 2 games left in the season. And whether people believe it or not, that's a distraction. If I have a chance to interview and for a job and I can quadruple or 6-7 times over my salary, it's hard for me to focus on the next team I'm playing. I'm kind of thinking about this interview for that job. Well, that doesn't help Oklahoma State football, and that doesn't help the players. So I don't know that that's going to ever change either, but I don't think that schools should be able to interview coaches from other schools while they're still playing during the regular season, in my opinion. They need to wait till it's over. And now it's trickled down to the coordinator status, Dave. I mean, guys wanting to interview coaches for a coordinator job, not even a head coaching job, for coordinator jobs, and we're still playing games. And so the negative part of this is the players get cheated. I mean, it should be about the players, and it's not just Oklahoma State, it's other schools. But the players are relying on their coaches to do what's right and prepare the team and get them ready to play in a game. And it becomes a distraction, and I just don't agree with it.
So by you having retained an agent, does that keep your personal deal from becoming a disruption in the practice schedule and the day-to-day routine? And do you think your players even have any sense of any of that?
Honestly, Bill, I don't know how much they know about it. Or how much they pay attention to it. I'm guessing they probably do because it's out there. It's not a distraction for our bowl prep because I don't really do anything. I just make schedules and formats and kind of get everything ready, and then all those other guys are. I mean, I've watched stuff and I have my thoughts, and I've expressed that to Bill and Glenn and Todd and Joe. But other than that, they're the ones in the daily operation, and I'm really kind of recruiting. So I'm going to answer. My answer to that would be no, because there's not enough going on for it to distract me. I'm not really involved in it. I'm just kind of going through in everyday operations.
A lot of schools are having a lot of trouble selling bowl tickets, and yours are gone in 4 days, 5 days. Your allotment. Are you just?
I think it's awesome.
Are you just astonished, or have you gotten used to it because your fans travel well?
Well, getting used to it, but very thankful that we're still used to it, because we all know this. The last 4 years in this state, it's been a serious issue. I mean, I got 3 young kids that are in Little League sports, and it's difficult for parents to have them on a club team because it costs too much to get them on a team, much less travel to their games. So you turn that over into entertainment dollars, and you look at where our season ticket sales have gone through the roof. We've set records every year when the economy's at the lowest, and we're in a financial situation or financial state which, it's been, 70, 80 years since we've been this bad in this country. So for us to be able to sell 17,000 tickets,
17.5.
how much?
17,000.
17.5 in 3 days or whatever. I mean, it shows the support that Oklahoma State has for football right now. And I couldn't be any more excited because the Fiesta Bowl knows that. When you go to a bowl game and they're saying, well, if anything, we can get these guys some more tickets, they're fired up. So the next time that happens, I know it doesn't work this way in the BCS, but other bowl games, well, how about Oklahoma State? I think you need to take Oklahoma State. How come? Because everybody goes to their games. So it's really huge for your future when we talk about bowl games.
What's up Virginia Tech this year? That's why they got named.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, but that's what, because they had a great following, right? Yeah.
When y'all took 30,000 to the Houston Bowl, it's because you hadn't been to a bowl except once in like 13 years.
Right.
Now this is 9 out of 10, so it's not like they're starved to death for a bowl. But yet they still 20, 30, 40,000
Right.
to go.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at it. One, it's a BCS bowl. They're all fired up. It's a great location, great weather, but it's a long ways out there. It's not easy to get out there. I mean, plane tickets from Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and you can get them out of Wichita. If you get a round-trip ticket, you can't – I shouldn't say that. It's extremely difficult to even get one back on the 3rd. They're all gone. So you fly out whenever you want, because I've been doing this for everybody's I've got cousins coming out of the woodwork that think they want to go to the game now. So we've been doing flight reservations, and you're talking about you can get it from $430 up to about $600 for one person for a round-trip ticket. So family of 4, you're talking about $2,000 just for tickets. I mean, just for the airline tickets. Hotels aren't out there. They're really nice, and I mean, they're not giving those away. So you're talking about $3,500, $4,000 for a family to get out there and go to the game. Pretty close to it. So for us to sell those tickets that fast is pretty impressive.